Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we're tackling paint correction. So we've done all the decontamination. Now we've got a dual action polisher. I'll hand you over to Dave. He's more the expert in this field.
Yeah, so we're going to keep it, again, very simple. So it's what would be known as the Menzerner intro kit,
right,
available all over the place. So you've got your standard 8mm throw dual action polisher, so it's like your entry level. And then we've got the two compounds as well. So you've got heavy cut compound from Menzerner, which does have a good little bit of bite, but it's diminishing. So as it breaks down, it does refine as well. So it's a very forgiving compound. But we also have the 3800, which will just pull out that last bit of gloss. Now, when you're doing paintwork, it's always questionable. You know, you could potentially stop there. Some paints respond really well to following it up with that afterwards. So we'll find out when we go onto the paint.
Yeah. I was going to say, how do you know how many stages of paint correction that you need? Have you just looked at that paint and decided, right?
Yeah, it's not got anything overly deep in there. It just needs a freshen up. So my approach would be for, you know, just, I'm interested to see, I think that's going to take it as far as we want to go. But you would always, if you've got it, follow it up with that, have a look. It's all about what your eye can see.
Yeah, we're not going for anything to win any awards, you know.
No, you're not going to concourse. You just want to get it to a level you're satisfied with. So there's no right or wrong point to stop at. It's when you're happy with it and you're comfortable. We've
got pretty decent lighting in here, so if it looks good in here, it should look good outside as well.
It should, yeah.
So hopefully you'll be able to pick this up on camera, but we had some pretty nasty scratches in there that looked like someone had dragged a mitt around with some grit in. Yeah. Right, so the first job is to prime the pad.
Yeah, so you can buy dedicated pad primers as well, but you can just do it with modern compounds. They have the right base, so you can. And what I usually do is give the bottle a good shake, and then I'll just do all the tiny little dots just so it lubricates the pad. Then I'll do 4 or 5 pea-sized dots on there as well, and then it's ready for that style area.
Yeah. Do we need anything to lube the paint as we're going, or is there enough?
No, again, modern compounds, it's not needed anymore. It's not like the old days where it'd dry out and they'd be dipping it in water and so on. They've come a long way.
Particular pattern you need to do to prime, because I see some people do like straight lines and then dots.
I change it each time I do it. I'm happy with that.
Okay,
it's enough to do that area. I'll just pass you that, and then we'll head on. So you start off on speed 1. Just work the compound before you turn the machine on. So you don't want it to sling everywhere.
Yeah.
And then on speed 1, you just want to work the compound out. Not applying any real pressure, just enough to steady the machine. And then about between 3 and 4, and then just nice, steady, like an inch per second, working along. And stay on fixed patterns so you know where you've been.
Yeah. So you've gone in a particular pattern there, but is there any right or wrong? I've seen some people just be a little bit random and they say that's the right thing to do. So
no, you don't want to be random, because by being random means some places are going to have more of an impact than others. Keep it uniform, like I did then. Did left to right, then I did up and down. Right. I just change it up a little bit. Going along, there's no harm in doing that, but you could just go left to right all the way, or up and down if you like.
As long as there is some order so that everything.
You want to keep it uniform, yeah. If you start jumping all over the place, you are going to treat some areas more than others. It's going to be a little unbalanced.
Okay, and you didn't go right to the edges there or over this lip?
No, I'll treat that separately.
Is that for safety, so you don't hit the edge?
It's just a point where to stop, really.
Right, okay. So with that kind of machine, at that kind of speed, does the beginner need to worry about taking paint off edges?
There is a risk with everything you do, so it's always, you've got to visually inspect it. What you've got to remember is, although a dual action can correct the paint, it's the most gentle approach past using your hand where you're going to get a real big positive impact.
Right.
So it always carries risk, but in the world of machines, it's the lower end of that risk.
Yeah, but obviously if you are new to it, try and keep your pad flat. And
keep the pad flat, don't over too much pressure. Always try and work up to edges rather than over the edges.
Yeah.
And just take your time. There's no race, you know, to come first or anything like that. Take your time and you will get the results. wash marring, the little scratches and all the other little bits it's picked up, probably cats on the bonnet. It's rid of all that now.
Yeah.
So the next point really would be, we'll do a little test area with the Menzona 3800, so their final finish compound, and we'll see if we can get a little bit more gloss out of it. A lot of people will be looking at that now and going, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, if you just use that, you'd be pretty happy.
Yes,
but like you say, if we tape off a little area and we go with the 3800, just see if those slightly less micro abrasives can just bring it back even further.
Yeah, and what you'll find on your paint type as well, on a metallic, for instance, responds really well to pushing it, that refinement, that little bit more. On flatter colours, you don't always see as much of a benefit.
Yeah, I never thought of that, but yeah, makes sense. Right, so the next question is, would you treat, if we are going to do 2 stages, would you treat the whole car with just this stage first of all, or would you be switching one to another?
No, I say keep it quite uniform, so get round the whole vehicle using that, and when that's done, reevaluate, have a look, see what you're happy with, because you need to make sure you've got all the areas. They might, once you go around it with a fresh set of eyes, normally say the next day, you go around it, there might be a couple of areas you see and think, I'm just going to give that another hit with the heavier cut. But if you are happy with everything, then rather than going all the way around the vehicle kind of blind, thinking you have to use the next stage, just do a small area and see if you can notice a difference. If you're not pulling any more gloss from it, then there's no real need to go back round.
No.
And I've had it where you've had the paint's responded really well to it, other times where it's not, you know, you've already took it as far as you're going to get it.
Yeah. Okay. For someone who can only really afford or justify to have one machine, this is a good one to go for.
It's brilliant, yeah.
When you're tackling sort of door handles and wing mirrors, would that machine be suitable, or are you going back to hand application at that point?
I would normally say that it depends where you're trying to be cost-wise. You can get a dedicated machine which will take a smaller pad. It's got a smaller form, so you can get it into them tighter areas as well. But you could just do them bits by hand as well.
Yeah.
It does depend where your budget lies, how far your eye sees, and you just have to judge it from there.
I reckon this is going to take care of sort of 95% of the
You will
time.
do, yeah. It'll get, and because that paint comes back so well, the little small areas that aren't sitting as well don't really stand out as much. It depends what you're chasing. If you're going for concourse, then you are going to need separate tools to chase that. But if you just want your car to look as fresh as it can, then you can do it, as again, like we said before, on a small budget. So now we're going to go on with the Menzona 3800 with their finishing pad, and we'll see what we get from it. So as before with the compounding, you'd prime in the same way. What you'll notice with the finishing is you can take them a little bit further. They're a little bit more oily, nicer to use.
Same as before, machine off, you're just going to dab it on the paint.
Yeah, exactly the same process.
We've got no sling.
No, just take your time. Like I said, you can see already how that spreads.
Yeah.
It's a lot nicer to just give it a quick spread out. Speed it up just a little bit.
So what do we reckon, Dave?
If you've got any fixed lighting or a lot of light on it, it's going to show a hell of a lot more than what you're going to see in day-to-day life as well.
Yeah.
So me looking at this, I'd be, you know what, I'm going to continue around it. I'm getting enough extra gloss out of it to warrant me going around the vehicle with it as well.
Like you said, if you have got the pad and the products, and like this machine and these products come in a kit, chances are you're going to have them, you might as well use them. And I think we can both agree, we are just seeing that a little extra bit of
there's more gloss, there's more depth coming out there, so I would be personally going
So the next job, getting into all those tighter spaces with the machine.
Yep.
What you got for us?
The new DA6 Nano. I'll give it a go.
Yeah. What have we got? What head have we got on? Because it comes in rotary and DA, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I'm going to do it in DA mode. You could do them areas in rotary. I'm really keen to try the DA one as well. There's no right or wrong really at this point.
And what compound are you going with?
I'm just going to go with the 3800. Tiny little bit, and just do a few little dots just to prop it up. And I'm just going to dual it basically, just get the most gloss out of it. It's on plastic, so it doesn't really need too much. Just going to get the gloss out of it.
So you're only on speed setting 2?
Yeah.
Are you not going to go any quicker on that?
No,
With it being such a small area, you don't need to.
It's not the area, it's just what I want from it.
All right, okay.
We're just getting that last bit of gloss out of it, and with it being on plastic, you do get that correction a little bit quicker, so that'll be more than enough. As you can see there, just get that last bit out there.
So that's quite easy to reach, especially because we pop bonnet up. Stuff like this, how are you going to get in there?
We'll use it in rotary mode. We'll put an extension on it, I'll take the head out of the way, and we'll get into it. If you want to
give it a go,
I'll let you have the honours.
Quite a neat little machine that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it comes with 2 throws in DA mode?
Yeah.
12 and a 3 millimetre. Do you want to screw that bit in?
Yeah.
So why have you gone for rotary with the... It's obviously not practical to put an extension on a DA because it'd be moving all
Yeah, it'll just vibrate around. Just have the spanner to take the backing plate off it. Just need to get it under, but obviously the head of the machine going into that tighter space would be a bit of a problem. Yeah. It's just a drop more, it'll not need too much, with it being a small area. And yeah, speed 2 again.
I'll steal thunder this time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's spot on that really, isn't it?
Yeah. What I will add is, I've got a steady hand, but if you're in doubt and you're new to doing that, I always recommend just wrapping that part as well. Just put some tape under it.
Bit of insurance.
If you do go a little bit too far, when you do it day in, day out, you get a little bit more used to it, and probably a little bit, don't want to use the word slap, but with being ours as well. But yeah, the correct, you just put some tape over that as well, and then you're just covering all bases. If you slip or you go a bit too far, it's just that extra layer of protection.
Cool, but we'll finish this off.
Yeah.
And then shall we demonstrate some other little tight areas around your typical vehicle that you might...
Yeah, we'll use a bigger size, show what it like on the pillars.
Yeah, let's go for it. So I think we can give a big tick to machine polishing.
Yep.
We've done all the big areas, we've done all the nooks and crannies.
Yep, looking good.
Yeah, that's machine polishing done. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, picked a few tips up. Stay with us for the next episode.